I'm not alleged. I did it.
A 17-year-old charged with murder after stabbing another student at a high school track meet in Texas.
Police say that a student was stabbed to death.
What a dude, Two Ball Dudes Army. So on April 2nd, Austin Metcalf, a teenager, a high school student, was brutally stabbed to death by Camilo Anthony. Shocking news here. Terrible that this had to happen. Let's hear the news report.
Police say that a student was stabbed to death by another student. 17-year-old Austin Metcalf's father says the dispute started over a seat in the stadium. Our Meredith Yeomans has his heartbreaking interview and how Metcalf is being remembered tonight.
I feel like it was senseless. This shouldn't have happened.
From a packed prayer vigil at Hope Fellowship Church
Take a break for a second.
to the home of the victim's family.
I will never be the same.
Tonight, friends and relatives of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf are leaning on faith.
I can't really understand everything, but I just believe in God, and my faith will get us all through this.
Jeff Metcalf is father to Austin and Hunter Metcalf, brothers who were both at the track meet where today's tragedy happened.
They were twins, identical twins, and his brother was holding on to him, trying to make it stop bleeding. And he died in his brother's arms.
The horrific outcome unfolding at Kirkendall Stadium around 10 this morning. It started, Metcalf says, when a student from another school was told he was sitting in the wrong place.
End result, he stabbed my son in the heart and killed him.
That's the extent of this?
That's what it was over. Something so small, so trivial.
17-year-old Carmelo Anthony, a student athlete at Centennial High School, was arrested and charged with murder.
I've already forgiven him. That's for my peace, not his.
Metcalf says his son Austin had a 4.0 GPA, was MVP of his football team and a member of his track and field team. In a matter of hours, more than $40,000 have been donated to his online fundraiser.
He was loved by many. He was a leader. He believed in God. He was a great kid. Made me the proudest father in the world.
A community coming together to mourn a young life lost. Frisco ISD says Austin's death will be acknowledged tomorrow during second period at Memorial High School, and that counselors will be available through this grieving process. In Frisco, Meredith Yeomans, NBC5.
You know, it's sad that we have to listen to this stuff. It's sad that this has to go down in our local communities. The story here is they're both from different high schools, allegedly. He sat in the wrong seat on the wrong side of the bleachers. So Austin was like, hey, you gotta move, you gotta be on the right side, this or that. Whether it was fueled by ego, he took it the wrong way. Why was that teenager in possession of a deadly weapon? That is ridiculous. And then to have the nerve to stab someone over a seat, to take someone's life in cold blood? What are we teaching our children nowadays? Unfortunately as well, the defendant here, or the father of Camilo Anthony, is now saying he wasn't a bad kid, he had a great GPA, all of the above, but not taking any accountability into the fact that his son is a murderer and should be behind bars for the rest of his days. In fact, if it was my way, he'd get the death penalty. There's a reason why things are so screwed up nowadays. It's not just the cultural development, the escalation of sex on TV, drugs, alcohol. It's bad parenting. It's one generation after another saying, well, I'm not going to be treated the same way. I'm not going to reprimand my child the same way. Or simply, I'm just not going to care what they do or take the initiative to be a good parent. Now we have a life lost. That life could have made a change in life. That person could have done something great. And now the parents will grieve. There is another clip I want you guys to see interviewing the twin brother of Metcalf. Here's what he has to say.
There was this kid, before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent at track. We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive and talking reckless, and my brother stepped in and said, you need to move. And he's like, make me move. Austin grabbed his backpack. The kid, I tried to whip around as fast as I could, but I didn't see the stab. But then I looked at And I look at my brother, and then I'm not going to talk about the rest. So just that's just what I saw. And I try to help him, but
it was just senseless.
It was really senseless. Really, I don't know why a person would do that to someone just over that little argument. It's just crazy in this world nowadays how people just up and do that. Like that man has a family. That man has people that care about them all the time, and he did everything for our family too. He was a strong man. He was a strong kid.
It's just tragic. The loss of this brother, the loss of him being without his only twin brother. He held him in his arms, as reported, held him in his arms and watched the life leave his body because of a fatal blow through a blade. Could you imagine holding your family, your mother, your brother, your newborn baby, and watching them bleed out to death and not being able to do anything about it? Meanwhile, this murderer still has his life, still getting fed 3 meals a day through the prison system, still gets to walk around like it's nothing. I hope we see what's coming to him and what he deserves. Watch this next clip.
So the father of Carmelo Anthony, who is the 17-year-old teen who stabbed and killed the other 17-year-old teen, Austin Metcalf, at a track meet, is now saying that, oh, his son was a good kid and he didn't do anything wrong and he had a 3.7 GPA and he was a good kid and he wasn't the aggressor, etc., etc., etc. And again, this is what I tell black people. You never hold your children and you never hold each other accountable when this stuff happens. And the reason that you have a 17-year-old black kid, Carmelo Anthony, that literally stabbed and killed this other young boy, Austin Metcalf, took his life, destroyed that family's life, and also destroyed his own life because he's going to be in jail for the rest of his life. And the reason that they are like this is because they do not have discipline. They do not have parents around. And even he couldn't have possibly had a father around. Now the father's trying to run out to the media and he's trying to say, oh, he's a good kid. He didn't do nothing, etc., etc. That father could not have possibly been in this young man's life. Because if he was really that good, if he was really the good kid that the father is saying that he was, he would not have had a knife and he would not have gotten into an altercation with another 17-year-old kid and stabbed him and killed him. Okay, this is not something that quote-unquote good kids do.
I really couldn't agree more. It's preposterous that a kid so good, so nice, so great in school will be walking around with his backpack with a blade. That is some thug mentality. That is intended brutality. That has intent to use. He waited for an opportunity that he could whip out a knife and show how hard he was. Seems like there wasn't really a father teaching him right from wrong. They left him to his own devices so he could act the way he wanted to be. No accountability. And this guy has no remorse. He did it. He knows he did it. I guess he thinks he's got street cred.
Dallas done crashed out at a district track meet. A high school student was fatally stabbed. You gotta be kind to people because you never know what people are gonna do. There is so much negativity in this world. So if you go out and say the wrong thing to the wrong person, you may end up in a grave. So you just gotta leave people alone because trying to be hostile or tough is not worth dying over.
This guy makes a valid point. We have to be nice to each other. We have to show respect. We have to be courteous. But the issue here too is now everyone's living in fear. You don't know who's going to do what to somebody. And now it's at the level of, oh, well, I just didn't like you. You gave me a dirty look. You told me what to do. That may have been the correct thing to do. You stepped on my shoe by accident. Oh, you got in my way. This is all going to lead to murder and death? What is society going to do about this? How are we going to correct this? How are we going to evolve and move forward? And that's something I want to ask you all today. All right, all my YouTubers out there, all my fans out there, everyone within this beautiful country called America that we live in. How can we move forward and make a change? And how can we live to honor the life of Austin Metcalf? How can we strive to be a better person? I want you guys to think about that tonight while you sleep with your loved ones that are still with you, that are alive, that weren't brutally murdered by a Camilo Anthony.
Two bald dudes.